Hello everyone, my name is Dharti Sheth and I'm going to give a presentation about my field placement. So the location at which I perform my placement is St. Peter's Residence at Chirok, a part of Thrive Group. It's located in the city I live, which is Hamilton. Um, so to begin with my presentation, I'm going to be beginning with my hiring process. So I prepared a resume and a cover letter according to the guidance obtained from the professor as well as the Georgian College Library help. And I had various locations for field placement in my mind, but I always had a eye on the Thrive Group and its affiliated long term care open food service worker positions. So once I prepared the resume and cover letter accordingly, I applied directly on the company website under the careers. I received a formal email from the HR stating that they wanted if I'm available for a phone call to discuss the opportunity. So the HR department called me and asked me about my basic information and inquired about if I'm eligible for this position or not. Then she arranged me an interview with the food nutrition manager. The next stage of the interview was a video conferencing interview with Sherry Hodgson, who is the food nutrition manager at St. Peter's Residence. So she asked me certain questions, gave me various hypothetical situations to determine my eligibility. And after completion of and then she asked me for the reference check. And after successful completion of the reference check, she offered me the verbal letter of employment. After signing the employment, there were mandatory job requirements, as which is as a part of working at a long term care. I have to give a negative result of a two-step skin tuberculosis test, and I had to perform a vulnerable sector police check. Also, there was one mandatory thing at St. Peter's, which was that I should have taken at least 3 COVID shots in order to work at the long term care. After successful completion of all the documents, I was scheduled for my orientation shifts. So at St. Peter's residence, they do not have a single dining room. Instead, they have split the residence into 7 dining rooms, which each is called a terrace, which is named after a tree like aspen, birch, cedar, dogwood, elm, fir, and garland. Each with around 25 residents assigned to a single dietary aide. So the dietary aide on the terrace is required to perform all the duties for all those 25 residents. So I have to perform both the kitchen duties as well as the terrace duties. So now talking about coming to my goals, which I was supposed to accomplish during my field placement duration. So the first one was serving everyone. So my goal was to develop a friendly attitude with each resident, which is also one of the major duties as a dietary aide, to serve each resident in a very courteous and optimistic manner. So I start serving, for example, at St. Peter's, I start serving lunch around 12 o'clock, starting with the beverages. I go to each resident to inform them about the available choices, like taking the orders and then serve them what they like. Also, for ones who consume a modified diet, I offer them the consistency number 2. We have pre-made drinks, which says number 2 and number 3. So number 2 is the honey like and number 3 is the pudding like drinks. After serving the beverages, I select appropriate scoop sizes for each of the um, lunch option, and then I start serving depending upon the diet, which is regular, minced, or puree. Here is an example of the Indian Dysphagia diet standardization, which specifies the thickness types. Next of my goal was the menu planning. So this is which is one of the very crucial part of being a dietary aid. They have St. Peter's has different menu, like for this change menu twice a year, for fall and for winter, and the other one is for spring and summer. Each season has a 3 week menu which changes every week depending on the availability of food items each season. Also, I refer patient charts which are prepared by the dietitian stating the likes and dislikes along with their food consistency. For example, if somebody likes the bread with the crust cut off, somebody is allergic of jam, the resident's chart are really very helpful for me while I'm serving. I am honestly still not able to I'm still new to this environment, so I haven't been able to plan appropriate menu on my own. But I do shadow the nutrition manager and the dietitian and note down the tips and tricks for accurate menu planning. Also, as a part of my learning, they sometimes ask me to prepare a dummy menu for a day and provide me suggestions on how to improve. Next is the standard operating procedures, which is also really an important part, and a goal which I really wanted to accomplish. So I follow the SOPs which are attached with each electronic equipments like dishwasher, toasters, grinders, mixer. I am supposed to use everything, like some things, some equipments in the kitchen, because I have to prepare the nourishment snacks. So there is an SOP attached at the top of each equipment which illustrates how to use it safely. Also, for selecting the scoop size, I refer to the scoop size guidebook. I record the temperature every day before starting any meal on the log sheet for quality assurance purposes. Here are the examples, like pictures of some of the equipments like mixer, dishwasher, grinder, which I basically use at St. Peter's for preparing the for doing the dishes and pots, for preparing instant puree snacks and pudding for the nourishment snack. Here is an example of my log sheet, the temperature log sheet, which I use every day to record the food temperature before starting any meal. And here is the scoop chart, like here is the scoop chart, which actually the portion control chart, which guides me to to choose a scoop size for each kind of meal. Here is a picture showing how I record the temperature for food, and how I record the fridge temperature, the dishwasher temperature every day before once I start my shift. Then the last of my goal was developing workplace ethics. So developing a professional attitude is very important aim if you want to become a food nutrition manager in the future. Even in any career, professionalism is really important. As a dietary aide, I try to respect the privacy of each and every resident and try to keep their personal information confidential. I inform the manager about any of the mishaps conducted by any of the employees with any residents. Also, I keep my dignity and I do not accept any personal gifts from residents. I believe following workplace ethics are really important to become a confident and successful employee. Then comes the sanitation plan. Sanitation and good hygiene are really important part of this profession, and because there are various critical care points which can lead to food contamination and spoilage. At St. Peter's, they have their own sanitation procedures, which I was taught during my orientation. Like we are supposed to clean each table with a surface sanitizer and new wipe for each table. I wash the carts at the end of the day and wipe it with the surface. All the garbage is collected in disposable garbage bags and discarded in the proper manner. I wash dishes and pots twice, once under the soap and then under the sanitizing liquid at the dishwasher at appropriate temperature to ensure that everything is free from germs. I broom and mop the serving area as well as the dining room with appropriate floor cleaner to make it safe. Here are some of the examples of the dishwasher which are proven to be safe, to be used in the long-term care environment. So speaking about my achievement, I learn something new every day. Still, I'm learning something new every day. I can use all the equipment really well now. I have an idea about the different food consistency as well as the drink consistencies and the portion control. My future goal, so like currently I wish to become accredited member at the CSNM society by achieving the 16 continuing education points, by completing the 4,000 work hour experience, and at the end to become a food nutrition manager. I really recommend my juniors to start searching, like have a pre-plan to and make a list of the opportunities, and look for the job description and the qualifications they are looking for. This might save ample of time and you might have a good a good opportunity whenever the semester starts, and you don't have to wait, and you can like follow, like you can be on time for each submission and everything. So all like a message from me is that after working in the food nutrition field, I really feel a pleasure to be a part of this community and in serving the resident and bringing a smile on their faces every day. I honestly have a feeling of satisfaction at the end of my shift, that I fed everyone what they needed, and especially those who needed special care. Thank you.